Ever notice how the people who seem to move on the fastest are the ones we start thinking about the most? It's strange, right? You'd think that if someone disappeared, went quiet, stopped calling, they'd slowly fade from your mind. But no, that's not how it works. The people who really start living, the ones who start glowing in ways you didn't expect, they're the ones who keep creeping back into your head. And that's because what stays with you isn't absence, it's change. That's the part most guys don't get. They think women miss silence. They think if they just disappear long enough, she'll get curious, start wondering, start regretting. But women don't miss the quiet. They miss what you used to bring into the room. They miss your energy, your presence, the way you made them feel when you were fully there, fully engaged, fully alive. And if you're just trying to go ghost, as a tactic, she'll feel that too. And honestly, that's not impressive, it's insecure. She doesn't sit around missing nothingness. She starts to notice when something real changes. The truth is, it's not the silence that lingers, it's the shift. It's when she starts seeing you glow up. It's when she notices that your energy doesn't orbit her anymore. It's when you stop moving like the version of you that was waiting for her validation and start moving like the man you forgot you were. Not because you want to prove anything, not because you want her to chase, but because you finally woke up to who you were supposed to be all along. And that right there, that evolution, that's what makes her wonder. Not because you're gone, but because you've finally shown up for yourself. If you ever find yourself explaining your worth to a woman, you've already lost the frame. The second you start typing out long messages trying to convince her of your value, trying to prove why she should choose you, you've stepped out of your power. Because here's the truth. No one respects what has to explain itself. People feel energy, they feel presence, they feel certainty. And when a man is sure of who he is, he doesn't explain, he becomes. That's where most guys mess up. They think if they can just say the right thing, if they can just make her understand, maybe she'll change her mind. Maybe she'll realize she's missing out. But you don't convince anyone of your worth with words. It's never worked like that, and it never will. The more you talk, the more you try. The more it screams one thing: I'm not enough as I am, so I have to sell myself to you. Forget that. You don't need to sell anything. You need to become something. Become the man who doesn't just talk about growth lives. Become the guy who doesn't have to say, I've been working on myself, because it's written all over his energy, his posture, his actions. The version of you she should miss isn't the one typing paragraphs. It's the one who's too busy living to explain himself. Go quiet, but don't disappear. Evolve. Get sharper, get stronger. Smile more, stress less. Focus forward. Let your life speak for you. Why your absence feels heavier now than your presence ever did before. That shift speaks louder than any apology, any explanation, any please understand me text ever could. Evolution over explanation. Always. When a woman pulls back, most guys panic. It's like this automatic reaction kicks in, checking her social media, wondering who she's talking to, overanalyzing every little thing she says or doesn't say. And just like that, all their power is gone, given away. Handed over to someone who's not even around. The craziest part? She can feel that shift in you, even if you never say a word. Energy doesn't lie. When you start obsessing, she feels it, and the mystery you once had fades fast. The truth is, your power has never been in her hands. It's always been in your focus. Where your mind goes, your strength follows. You don't gain anything by chasing her attention. You don't win by wondering what she's doing. You win by locking into your own life, your growth, your fitness, your goals, your routine. The more you lean into you, the more unshakable you become. Here's what makes the real difference. When she realizes you're not orbiting her anymore, that you've stopped moving your life around her availability, it messes with her in a way silence never could. It's not about ignoring her, it's about genuinely not needing her attention for your life to feel full. That's when she starts questioning things. That's when she starts replaying your moments together, because suddenly you're not the same man she used to know. And don't mistake this for a tactic. This isn't about playing games. This is about taking your power back from places you should have never handed it to in the first place. It's about returning to yourself. You didn't lose her. You just stopped revolving around her. That stillness, that grounded, quiet confidence, it's what she feels the most. Not your absence. It's your presence without permission. Most guys think that moving on is about cutting physical ties. They'll block her number, unfollow her on Instagram, delete old texts, remove pictures, maybe even avoid places where they might run into her. And sure, that can help a little. The truth is, none of that matters if you're still dragging her around in your mind everywhere you go. The real chains aren't the ones you can see, they're the invisible ones. It's the late-night thoughts, the constant mental replays of old conversations, the what-ifs, the regrets, the fantasies of maybe she'll change. That's the real prison. You can block her on your phone. But if she's still playing on repeat in your head, she's still got access to you. And that's why most men don't actually move on. They just pretend. They're physically gone, but emotionally trapped. Freedom isn't deleting her number, it's deleting the version of you that's still attached to her memory. It's not bitter, it's not angry. It's just peaceful detachment. And when you finally reach that point, that's when you're truly free. And here's the part nobody tells you. That emotional freedom, she can feel that shift long before you even think she notices. Because women are intuitive. They don't just hear your words, they feel your energy. And when that invisible cord finally snaps, when you stop secretly hoping for that text, when you stop wondering who she's with, it's when everything flips. You don't have to slam doors. You don't have to post mysterious quotes or try to act unbothered. You just move different. You stop reacting. You stop checking. You stop caring not out of spite, but out of growth. And that's the kind of freedom she doesn't forget. Emotional stillness hits harder than silence ever could. Everyone's always talking, okay, about moving on like it's some kind of competition. Like the moment you lose someone, your next step should be to replace them, prove a point, or start showing off how many options you've got. But here's the truth. You don't have to move on. You need to move up. There's a massive difference. Moving on is about replacing her. Moving up is about replacing yourself, becoming a new version of you that makes the old one look like a warm-up round. And that's the shift that actually makes her feel at sea. When you move on, you might get her attention for a second. Maybe she notices you with someone new. Maybe she gets curious. But when you move up, you don't just catch her eye, you disrupt her entire perception of you. You start carrying yourself with a different energy. Your mindset changes. Your goals shift. Your whole vibe moves in a direction that makes it obvious you're not who you used to be. And that version of you, that's the one she didn't see coming. You don't elevate to get her attention, you elevate because staying the same would be disrespectful to your own potential. The man who was stuck on her isn't the one who deserves your future. That version of you has served its purpose. Now it's time to evolve for you. And what happens when you move up is beautiful. The higher you go, the smaller she starts to look, not because you're bitter, but because your view changed. Your world gets bigger. Your life gets fuller. Suddenly, she's not the center of your story anymore. You are. And when that happens, she'll notice. She'll feel that gap. And by the time she does, she'll already be too far ahead to care.